Thanks. I'm just using a new system today, so just want to make sure it's all working. I have hit the record button. We'll see how that works. Anyway, I'll come back in a couple of minutes. Thanks. Okay. Just let me know if there's any problems in viewing this, or if there's any other issues with the. We'll find out if there's a problem with YouTube's, but yeah, just new system. The new system I'll be using next year, so giving it a test run today. Obviously, there's a bit of news out last night. The US is still growing quite strongly. Their manufacturing is doing very well, and so is their construction. We got the September data was down, obviously, and October was up. Bit of a turnaround, so call that pretty flat. Today we've got our retail sales, and obviously numbnut at 230. Voice is a little muffled. Is that better? I'm not using a headset, just a normal phone set thingy. Anyway. Okay, so it's going to be difficult to sort of try and find trades of any decent value, I think, this week. Or any, you're not going to get trends starting or staying in there for long. Everything seems to be at exhaustion. So it's to the charts. We have Aussie sitting here, and you could probably suggest that there is divergence there now, but good luck trying to find anyone who wants to buy it. You got these across these lows here. Across those lows there. Can you guys see that? Might have to make that a bit thicker. Yep. Across there we have divergence. The starting of it across here. But as I said, there's very few buyers. However, if price does get back up to this level here, you've got, you'll obviously have bullish price action. That blue line is the monthly fib from this low to that high. There's other horizontal lines in there that you might remember from other charts. We've got a clean skin at the moment, so nothing on there. However, that's starting to turn around for us now. Aussie CAD. Well, back to the Aussie. I don't see a hell of a lot in the risk reward to it though. Obviously, we're still under pressure here. Everybody keeps talking the Aussie down, and there's that we're economically we're not doing so well. The further they keep talking it down, the more it's going to be realised. But unfortunately, I think we're doing just fine. So I'd like to see it back up here, which would be reflective of our economy, or the real economy, what Nunnut thinks it is. Here we have nice little trend line with cycles all the way down. Completed your a little cycle underneath, so you would be looking for a seller bar coming in here. That would be the most likely place to put a fib. So we have this cycle underneath here. There's a test bar of the 50. You could say it's testing this level here as well. Is that a level of any significance? Is that of any significance? Not paramount. I mean, up here is obviously even more significant. It's got a couple of touches, but recently it's those ones there. So it's not a strong horizontal, but it is a horizontal. We've got highs here, lows here, another high there. This bar is a seller bar, then there's a trade there for tomorrow to take this as a new phase one down. So keep an eye on that one there. It's the Aussie CAD. Aussie Swiss. As we said the other day, this could be traded as a phase two back to the EMA or a range trade. So just considering you've got a couple of touches along here, and now you've got a couple of touches along here. So it could be done either way. You might set two orders, one to go to the 50 and one to go to the other, sort of 87. There was divergence across here, as Class C divergence from these lows across here. You can see that. Stochastics is not showing that. MACD, there's no real divergence. It's kind of following price at the moment, but your RSI is showing divergence there. So that's this one there, and this is 1-to-1. I know that because I've placed the order myself, which is not ideal, but I've also placed it as a target across the other side there. So okay, that's one for, you can potentially place that today, but be aware that you do have 230 coming up. So if you're negative, you might want to consider holding back until after that that announcement, because volatility could knock us out. Mouse needs a new battery. Okay, so moving averages are horizontal here, so it is dead flat. Is it in a range? Well, that would suggest that. So the range is tightened up, not this big one. So that's potentially in there now. There's Nifty. How did that happen? Must have been two there. Or maybe even get that a bit closer. We are getting higher highs and higher lows. Yen is extremely weak across the board. If Aussie gets a little stronger on the back of Glenn Stevens, this could continue and start to make higher highs and start looking like the other yen crosses. Could. The price action dictate. Right, there's been a couple of questions on this one, and I'll come to the questions afterwards, so let me just go through mine. There's the obvious level of $1.12. There's that big level there. And divergence from this low to this low. You've certainly got divergence now from this low to this low. So we've got some AA batteries. So that's obviously clear there. We need to get extensions in. There's one thing obviously missing, and that's price action. There's an extension there from that little up one. We're in the zone. Phase 1 short setup. The question is phase 1 short setup. Yeah, look, that is a ring high. Granted. MACD is certainly not overextended. RSI is though. So I just don't know how much further on the downside this can, well, RSI can get overextended and it can still run a couple hundred pips, true. I don't like sort of doing it off the 20 all that much. Your stop's going to be quite large. Yeah. I'm fairly looking at a buy bar today and then another one tomorrow, and having taken this north rather than taking it south. Yeah. The other question on this was daily chart and bullish divergence from another person. Is it a trend reversal just back to the 50, or is it something bigger? Well, it requires us to look at the larger time frames. See how big the $1.12 is. Certainly potential to go further south. It's huge. Come a long way. There's certainly room to go either way here. There's certainly room on the downside and potential on the upside. I'd prefer to be looking at the upside. Maybe that's just not biased towards the Aussie, but I think the Aussie's undervalued and the Kiwi's overvalued, so that's why I think price should be reversing at some stage. So I'm not sure if that really answers your questions, gentlemen. But there is divergence there. The sellers are clearly dominating still. I think it's a wait and see whether or not I take this one short at this point. Yeah, I don't know if I'd take it short at this point. The sellers are still there. Okay. Aussie Sing. Similar to Aussie US, it's only 2 to 3 bars, so it's minor, but it's there. Could be enough to see this north, and like the Aussie dollar, it's the risk reward is not that crash up. Yep. CAD. No divergence yet. Key level there, which we're running up to. Sort of have it on that one. We're up there yet, but there's no divergence. So they're starting to roll on the histogram. You can say divergence from there to there. On the MACD histogram. It's not, again, not something I'd be looking at. I'm using stochastic and find obvious divergence on Aussie Kiwi daily chart. Is RSI more effective than stochastic in terms of divergence? Look, they're all the momentum indicators. So it's stochastic is about speed. RSI is about overbought, oversold. So not so much speed, but more closely aligned to momentum. And MACD is your moving averages, and also a bit very similar in the sense that it's trying to pick up momentum. What they're all doing is literally seeing where the closing price is relative to the last closing price. So when you see them having large moves like this, and there's big gaps from the previous closing price, you'll see the momentum will accelerate. So here you've gone from above being a bullish market to below the line rather rapidly. And then when it goes, all the closing prices are similarly at the same price or around the same area, the MACD will start to turn and then obviously get them. Okay, stochastic doing the same thing. When you get large moves in the market, it will accelerate, and then when it stops, the closing prices are close together, it fans out. RSI. Large moves in the market, and then when it stops, it turns around. So they're all pretty much showing the same thing, and it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other, if which one you use, as long as you're seeing it in one of them. Whilst they're all showing the same thing, they're calculating it slightly differently. Okay, this is a reversal bar. It's kind of a nothing bar closing in the middle, but those of you who are still in this you'd want to be in profit protection mode. Come on, mouse. Obviously, we're not in the sell zone yet, so that's really worth looking at there. No divergence yet either. CAD yen, it's really just slowly getting up there. We're starting to see divergence here. So I could expect a turnaround. As I said, the yen is very weak against all crosses, but you could expect it to strengthen sometime. CAD Swiss, I'm still short with half a position and have a stop just above the low of the 25th. Should I move the stop further down closer to yesterday's high? Yeah, you should. Yesterday's high was a reversal bar. Swissy, this is to me, as I said a while back, is about the 90 cent level. And you can see this support here. The market's holding up and seems to be running away from it now. I'm running too many programs. That's one of the things. Doesn't like this friggin' webinar. It's probably yeah, so 90 cents is a key level support. Didn't get down to that and didn't show some exhaustion at this stage, and I just really don't want to play in that market. When you guys are happy to, there's a little cycle underneath. We could be looking at it as a ring low and taking this north to as a range trade. I just don't see the value in that. I'm not seeing it at a point of strength, and I'm not seeing it at a point of weakness. Point of strength being somewhere like this, a point of weakness being somewhere out here where there's divergence and you're miles away from the moving average. So it's in neither area, and that's not something I'd be risking money on. Just so that's go beyond or realms of sensibility. There's no divergence, so there's a MACD. See that starting to roll now. No sign of sellers just yet. At least there'll be a decent risk reward on it, unless it tanks on a huge bar. But there's just decent risk reward when it does just start to turn. Swiss yen, the only trade I'm keeping my faith in at the moment. Well, keeping your faith in this trading business. Right. Euro, our little 4-hour trade should be all taken out now overnight. This 136 was proving too difficult for it. What's there in there now? What's in there for us now? What? Nothing. It's back down to that 33.85. This level here was the support, 34.85. We have done a cycle above the 50 EMA though, so in days to come there might be something in this. ECB Thursday night, maybe a trade on Friday. This one, no RSI divergence, stochastic divergence. hanging in there on a daily? How? I suppose you didn't have any reason to move your stop just yet, but you do now underneath that. Risk reward is, again, is to be about 1 to 1. Just not crash out. This is the same as the Aussie Swiss, which did have divergence, or similar to the Aussie Swiss, which did have divergence. And you could trade this similar to the Aussie Swiss as a range, or I don't think there's the risk reward in it on the phase 2. This one could be looking at. Resistance after that. That's the earliest one. It's gone through that. 44. Come on, house. Not an extension either, so I'm not sure where that one's going just at the moment. It's hard to get an extension in there. How do we do that? Sort of buying it. You're sort of buying in here. You have the divergence across there. It's a bit of a gap, but otherwise there's nothing else I see on that. A divergence setting it over. The yen crosses it way out. Back to double 70. 72. Still prefer to be more less than short though. I think the Kiwi is going very well. If you get the, could say that it's coming back to your cycle above the 50. Look, this is a trend continuation. North again. Lovely high test bar. The area we want to look at, 63s there. Could say the stochastic period. So. And MACD divergence, the histogram divergence. Those bars there. A seller bar, get us back under 63, and then likely an opportunity there for a short trade. This one is in the zone. There is divergence. After the RBA, there could be a play. I'm not making a list of this. This is just chilly. Okay. So, no divergence, but certainly getting up there to be looking at potential short trade.
Correct. This is Grant calling from Nordic Collection. You're calling for coaching session at 10:30.
Yeah, pound upside down. Breaking out of that range. $1.50, I suppose there's a bit of resistance. $1.51, some more. How does it, did you say there was divergence? Mr. Castigs, it was. Just so far gone. Just can't buy them anymore, but we certainly can't sell them.
Andrew, please. Oh, good. Hi, Andrew. Right time to talk? Yeah, good. This is Grant calling from Nordic Collection. Good, thank you. I just want to confirm.
I don't know if you're a believer of that one, but
on 23rd, how many coaching sessions?
the indicators tell that you're back trading that range again. $2 potentially down to $1. If you just go for $1.92, it's
Really? You called me for 4 hours, right?
That's strong resistance at 2.
Right. I'm not sure it's a 1 hour session or 2 hour session. Right. Okay. I think it's roughly about 2 hours. Are you sure? So I can, because you put me 4 hours, so I took 2 hours. So I can give 4 hours, 2 hours to credit time. Really? Okay. Right. All right. Okay. So I will fix that. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Right.
It's actually a higher high. You can hear Grant better than you can hear me. Lucky Grant. Just going back to the what was it, the pound Aussie? Or did see divergence there. Across here in the it's minor. Certainly MACD does show it. Pound Kiwi, frustratingly, is borderline. Yen, there's beautiful divergence there. Again, it's broken it. MACD, that's a joke. It's just everything's right on the edge. This is the Kiwi. Alright. Here we've done a cycle underneath this, underneath the EMA. And I think it's due for another sort of pull back down to this area here, or even around here somewhere. There's no reason why it should be this close to its all-time highs. No reason whatsoever. Making lower highs and lower lows are a little reversal touch of the last little reversal touch of the 50 EMA. There's 4 hour that's also done a phase 2, looking like it's trying to do a phase 1, but there's just not enough selling at this stage. However, that's what I'd be looking at, is sell a bar and taking this down again. This, because it did that phase 2 on the daily, it's looking like it's strong again. I don't know if it necessarily is. It's just the yen weakness, which is across the board. As I said, it's a little hard to trade against that. It's hit against there a bit, isn't it? US dollar strength. I think that could be the story this week. It's US dollar strength. Certainly been weak against the pound. I think that might potentially turn around. That's annoying. Some people would have got stopped out on that. That's frustrating as all hell. Gold had a massive turnaround overnight too. It had a $23 drop or something. And this is dollar rand, so as gold falls off, this will rally. So at some point it was looking weaker and then turned around on the back of gold's drop. This is gold here. See that drop there? So that would have been frustrating. Right now, if you manage to stay in here, I'd be keeping your stop where it's at. Right, I do apologise about the mouse and the sound. The mouse needs new batteries. The sound, well, Grant's got a very loud voice, doesn't he? Okay, so emails, Aussie dollar pairs. Aussie dollars are having a phase 2, having a bounce. So I'd like to enter on a ring high going short on the next phase 1 with the trend if the checklist allows. Aussie CAD has Monday afternoon. Aussie CAD. Monday afternoon, best fundamentals in my opinion, retrace the 20 EMA, 50 FIB daily. Unless we get there before the day's out, bearish hidden divergence on the daily. EMA is 2050, 200 cross descending. Christian, there is no RSI divergence on 4 hour. Is it possible that the market will continue going up, turning into news phase 1? What should I look for to determine if there's a short trade continuation, long trade trend reversal? If in doubt, stay out. Well, the biggest issue here is we've got RBA today. Divergence. Well, this would suggest to stay away from the 4 hour. You're possibly not going to see divergence until it's at exhaustion, and that's the 4 hour ending its phase 1 up, which would mean the daily's completing its phase 2, if that makes sense. Yep. So as the daily completes its phase 2, which might end around the 618, or I can see your little 50 fib in there. If that ends around there, then the 4 hours is going to obviously be up around 97.60. Up here on the 200, and at that point you might get exhaustion and then divergence. Okay. What should I look for to determine if this is a short trade continuation? Well, obviously that's price action will determine it, but it needs to be reacting to some pretty significant parameters such as a Fibonacci or Fibonacci trend line, horizontals, all those things on your checklist. Okay. That's that one answered. Questions. New Zealand 4 hour. Was there a potential entry on the 4 hour? There is potential on the 4 hour, absolutely. You've got that horizontal there. Just not seeing sellers at this moment. you'd be looking to go in underneath that, but now we're starting to get higher highs, so it's a matter of waiting to see if there's any more sellers coming in. If you were in it on this bar after these two seller bars and your stops up there, well then it's a matter of obviously managing the trade. But you might be looking to go in underneath that, but waiting to see more sellers.
No problem. I will give you 3 hours.
Rand,
Yeah, just any time.
unfortunately got stopped out yet. Right.
You don't need to book it online. Just send it to me.
So a whole bunch of
discuss that date and time.
questions here.
Thursday, that's fine. That's fine. I can make Thursday. Just let me see. Okay, Thursday it should be it's a 5th, right? It's a Thursday. It's a 5th of December.
New Aussie Weekly.
Right. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Okay, just let me write it down. Are you coming to the office for the in-house coaching?
Yeah.
Okay, just let me confirm. Okay. So what's your free time, please? Yeah.
Seeing divergence.
To 12 p.m. Okay, so you'll be free, right?
Comments, you're a cat or you're Aussie?
Yeah,
you're Aussie, yeah. Risk 54.
Right. Okay, so how about maybe...
Risk was 1.3 or 2.6.
About maybe 9 o'clock?
So that's if you're going to the range,
okay,
is it 43? Right. Take profit 41.40.
Yeah, 1 hour, 1.5 hour.
Down here.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
Okay, I just write it down on my diary. 5th December, that's a Thursday. So we start
Pound Aussie
coaching from 9 o'clock, right? Okay, yep. Okay, bye. Bye.
Yeah, I think the Aussie's oversold. The pound is overbought. The euro, euro's sort of sitting on its 50 EMA, so it's not really. So these are, I think, the trend reversal on these two stand a better chance, if you understand what I'm saying, is that because the pound is overextended on the upside and the Aussie's overextended on the downside. They're both doing phase 2s in the opposite direction. Aussie will be doing a phase 2 up and the pound will be doing a phase 2 down, which will obviously accelerate this in that direction, whereas the euro, I don't see that happening because the euro's on its 50 EMA. I mean, it could also fall, obviously, underneath the EMA as the Aussie rallies. But I just think this one's probably got a higher probability of success. Yeah, all your analysis is pretty good. Okay, I'll come to seasonality in a sec, but what we've got here, pound, Kiwi, weekly. Big resistance there at $2, as you can see. Yeah, there is divergence. Well, it's pretty thick clusters. I think it's borderline that divergence personally, but we're certainly seeing the sellers and the pound needs to have a retracement. Although there is news out this week, and that's what's making me a little nervous about it. Okay, just going, there was a question about the equity clock. What you got to remember with this clock is that it's you're talking euro dollar. So if that's bullish, then the euro is bullish and the dollar is so here we've got euro getting bullish. Yeah. So forex US dollar USD per euro, the amount of US dollars that may be purchased by €1. Okay, so that's going up, getting stronger. And if we look at the Swiss, and there's the amount of US dollars that may be purchased by 1 Swiss. So they're effectively saying the same thing. Is that what is the US dollar amount? So how much US dollars will buy 1 Swiss franc, and how many US dollars will buy €1? And that's obviously they're going in the both directions. Does that make sense? RSI and RSI 14, they're telling you different things. RSI 14 is a bit slower, so it's looking at overbought, oversold, and that's the reason why you're looking at it as overbought, oversold. Whereas RSI 6 is can tell you the same thing. If you move the lines out, the 70-30 band to 80-20, it will also tell you overbought, oversold, but it's shorter, so the divergence is clearer to see. That's why we use the RSI 6. Okay. I do apologise about the sound. Next year I'll be in a quiet room by myself with no distractions and no one, I was about to say annoying me, but yeah, no one annoying me. And yeah, so sound will be better, and I'll get batteries for the mouse. But thank you for your patience with this version. We'll go back to the other version until next year. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at boot camp tomorrow.